Well, a lot transpired yesterday. A blockbuster trade involving my dad's team. The Jets made a few roster moves. We'll talk about that. And we're now 6 days away from the start of the 2025 NFL season. Let's go, baby. Boy Green Daily starts now.
I'm going to lose my gosh darn bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Let's go!
Put your seatbelts on. Get ready for the ride. We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcast. I'm wearing the gear. You may say, is it game day? What's going on here? Well, it's my fantasy football draft live at a bar. I'll be hosting an event later tonight, and my team, Dr. Feels Good. So I have to make sure I get into uniform immediately, getting ready for that fantasy draft, getting in the right mindset for this thing. It should be a lot of fun. Plus, we have our Boy Green fantasy football drafts coming up this weekend. So a lot of hoopla will be happening. There's no question about it. But good Lord have mercy. The last 24 hours have been very interesting. And to help dive more into it and learn more about it and everything else in between, we bring on the wonderful author of that well-placed book, Beyond Broadway Joe, the team that changed football forever. Let's bring him in, our resident Jets historian, Bob Lederer, here on a Friday in his normal spot. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning, Boy Green World.
Yes, B.O.B. What is
Now, did you talk to your dad last night?
So a lot of people have asked me about that. Of course, for those who were sleeping under a rock, the Dallas Cowboys traded superstar pass rusher Micah Parsons to the Green Bay Packers in exchange for 2 first-round draft choices and all-pro defensive tackle Kenny Clark. And I will be honest, I have not spoken to my father in terms of a call. I was doing a Hard Knocks thing for my old high school football team. We're doing player interviews and talking to the coaches, and I was watching practice, and I was heading into practice, Bob. I got the update on I got the update saying Parsons was traded. I was like, what the hell? And then the coach pulled up right by me and said, hey, you ready for practice, Bob? I'm like, okay, I guess so. And put the phone back in my pocket. And I had no idea what he was traded for or anything. And I spent the next 3, 4, 5 hours doing football activities. And then I got off doing that job. And then I looked back at my phone. I'm like, what in the world? And then I got so many texts that said, hey, is your dad okay? Like, I got texts, I got Twitter DMs, I got Instagram DMs, I got Facebook messages. I have not gotten that many messages about my father since I've been on this planet. So that was very kind. So thank you, obviously, everyone who reached out. Eventually, I did chat with him over text. And he is looking forward to it because tonight, after that fantasy draft event that I'm doing, Bob, I'm going to go see my father in Vermont. I am driving immediately after there. So the next couple Boy Green dailies will include my father. And oh boy, can't wait for that one. That one.
Well, 2 things. Number one, how long is the drive from Syracuse to Vermont?
About 3.5 hours.
Okay, good. Now, secondly, there's something going on here. Okay.
All right. Sure.
You have to go to the doctor with your son.
All right.
And Fields gets his toe stepped on and everything explodes.
Yep, that's right.
And then you had to go out last night, leave your fiance and your kids.
Yep.
And Green Bay gets Micah Parsons and your phone explodes again.
Yep.
So there's something going on. They call it karma, or what do they call it these days?
Okay. Yeah. There has to be something going on that when I am for long extended periods of time away from my phone, terrible or good. I mean, I guess it depends on your perspective, because shout out to Rich Samini here last night. And to think the Jets got 2 first-rounders for Jamal Adams, a strong safety, Joe Douglas's finest moment. So salute to Joe Douglas, wherever you are out there. I know you're actually working for the Eagles now in some role. So, hey, Joe. That Jamal Adams basically had a very similar return. Obviously, we didn't get an all-pro defensive lineman in that deal, and Kenny Clark, but we did get Garrett Wilson, who's been pretty good, and Elijah Tucker. So without the Jamal Adams trade, that does not happen. So thanks, Jamal Adams. Now on the Raiders, I think. And
but the Jamal Adams trade, those picks in the first round were way higher than I think.
That's also true.
Than the picks are going to be for Dallas when they get around to taking Green Bay.
Green Bay, yeah, they're a really good organization. That's a good point.
Yeah, and well, I'm in Chicago, everybody, if you didn't know that already.
Yeah.
And taking my shower this morning, wow, are the Bear fans upset? Because
naturally,
I will tell you, there is no competition, there is no rivalry in any of sports. At least I don't know anything about soccer. But in American sports, like the Packers and the Bears, nothing comes close to it. The hate and the rivalry, and there's nothing like it. So the Bear fans are crying this morning because Green Bay just got a game record.
Yeah,
and they really put themselves in a position to challenge Detroit, in the NFC Central. And Green Bay, the Bears were thinking that if they could get Caleb Williams right, that they would be challenging Detroit. Well, it's kind of a different look this morning.
That is for sure. And I would say for Jet fans, Jet fans may be out there in the universe going, how in the hell should I feel about this trade? Well, it should be absolutely great news. Why? You played the Dallas Cowboys in the game we're all attending week 5. Jets.
And that's why I wanted to know if you talked to your dad yet, because I figured you would certainly bring up that too.
Yeah, I have not brought it up to him yet, but Bob, if he's watching, yeah, baby, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, thank God, because again, if we go back to the last Jets-Cowboys game, me and my father were also at that one. It was in Dallas, week 2. Zach Wilson's first start, yippee!
And who destroyed the Jets that day?
Like the goddamn Parsons did. And oh my God. And after that game, Nathaniel Hackett, who's the offensive coordinator, came out and he walked up to the podium and he talks once a week. So you would think it's very difficult for a coach that everyone's supposed to be tight-lipped, that they would say anything stupid. But Nathaniel Hackett always found a way. So he strolls up to the podium after the Jets-Cowboys game, looks at the media, says, woo! That Micah Parsons guy, a little faster than I thought. And I'm like, what? He said that? And, of course, several times during that game, speaking of former Cowboys legend Tyron Smith, they, oh, God, it was just a disaster. Dwayne Brown, excuse me. And either way, they allowed a lot of one-on-one ops between Micah Parsons and the offensive tackle. But Nathaniel Hackett did that because he didn't think Micah Parsons was fast enough. And what an idiot. So long story short, I don't have to worry about Tanner Engstrand having anything stupid to say after the Jets-Cowboys game because no Micah Parsons to deal with, so thank God. So Jet fans, you should be elated, especially the ones that are going to the game. Micah Parsons is a game wrecker, perhaps the best pass rusher in all football. He's had at least 12 sacks in every season he's been in the league, and that's 4 years running at least, and it's been more than sacks. Oh, my goodness gracious. Jet fans should be elated, and oh, boy, that my pop's going to be at that game.
And he talked the other day about just trading for 2 draft picks and somebody.
They
got a really good player.
Oh, yeah. Kenny Clark is spectacular.
Kenny Clark's a very good defensive lineman.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
But he's not a game wrecker.
Yeah, he's not definitely not in the way that Mike is. They're going to help their run defense, which Jerry Jones talked about a lot. I was listening to that press conference last night, and so that will help. But that's sort of it's just not the same impact, obviously, as Micah Parsons. So we'll see. Jerry said they got a lot better last night. I'm like, okay, I guess we'll see when it comes to week 5. So I see Alon says, I have 2 questions. Did Boy Green console his daddy yesterday, or did he laugh at his dad after Micah got thrown out the door? Again, neither, because I did not talk to him over the phone. It was just simple text messages. I just said, hey, when do you want to talk about this? He said, oh, we'll hit it over the weekend. I'm like, all right. And so that will be coming. So appreciate it. And our number 1 Austrian Jet fan, baby, sending in a super sticker and $3 in euro, which translates good enough for me. And that is 2 more raffle tickets for our contest based on your previous combinations of support. So 218 raffle tickets for our guy, number 1 Austrian Jet fan. Appreciate you very much. And thank you guys for all the support so far. We have nearly 300 people in the room. My pop is headed to CrossFit. So he says he popped in here just quick to say, I'm okay. We'll discuss in detail tomorrow. All right, there you go.
Well, wait a minute, though. You're a member of the press. You're a member of the media.
Yeah.
And you can't wait because somebody else might get to him first.
That's a good point.
So you got to get to him, and you got to get him on fast.
That's true. So we'll see if after his CrossFit he jumps on.
My daughter and son-in-law are into CrossFit, but no excuse.
By the way, is CrossFit any good? I've never tried that out.
You should. Wow. My my daughter, who is 39.
Okay.
No, she's 38. She can lift her husband over her head.
Wow.
And she's not as big as me. But I mean, physically, yeah, she and her husband, wow, they go crazy and they can lift weights. And I heard somebody criticize CrossFit the other day as being silly that you're doing other things while you're, building your muscles or whatever. But
sure,
my daughter and son-in-law, they swear by it and they do it every week and then some. And boy, they've really grown in that certain way.
Oh, good for them.
Anyway, so back to your dad. You've got a responsibility.
Yes,
to get him on first before somebody else does.
Yes, that's true. So we will work on that.
Member of the media, and I was in business media to the real media, Jets media.
Yeah. That's true. It's been a beautiful journey. There's no question about it. And real quick, I'll answer you guys' questions about the Jets' recent roster moves because I know how much you guys are on the edge of your seat about it. First off, they brought back Marquise Hayes to their practice squad, a nice young offensive lineman. So 6'5", 318 pounds, did very well in the preseason by all the analytics. So shout out to Marquise Hayes, who returned to the practice squad. But there was another interesting note, because everyone was freaking out over Brandon Smith, this talented wide receiver for the Jets. They wanted him to make the team. He got waived. He didn't make the team, or cut rather. He's an older player, not too old, but older than the young players just skipping around the league. He's like 27 years of age, and so he got cut, waived, and then went to the practice squad. And then the Jets made another roster move very quietly. No one reported it, but I was double-checking the Jets roster sheet. Brandon Smith is on the 53-man roster, and I thought at first it could be a mistake, but thank you to a Jets fan sending me this along here. Brandon Smith posted on his Instagram yesterday a stock up emoji, seemingly confirming the move. So Jet fans were all freaking out about Brandon Smith. It appears he's right back on the 53-man roster. So there you go. Is that someone you liked, Bob?
And who did they move from the 53 to the practice squad or get rid of someone?
That is a great question because right now they have 13 because of the German offensive lineman. The Jets have 3 spots still available on their practice squad. Here it is because Leonda Wiegand, he's part of the NFL's International Pathway Program. So he has a roster exemption. The Jets still have 3 spots available on their practice squad, as a matter of fact. So we'll see. Tyler Johnson, someone who got moved down to the practice squad, but that was supposed to be in concert with one of the other waiver wire moves. So I'm going to have to, because A-Step 10 is asking about where is Skinner. Let me double check. I'm pretty sure I had him on the practice squad. He is. So he is still on the practice squad. So don't worry, A-Step 10. He is still there. He went nowhere. I'll have to cross-check the entire roster to see who is the spot that went to him, because it wasn't announced as a transactional move by the Jets. I combed the Jets transaction wire. They didn't announce it. So I don't know who got shoved off the island here, Bob. We'll have to see that with the transaction report coming out at about 4:00 today.
Speaking of which, was one other thing, since you mentioned number 1 Austrian Jets fan.
Yeah, sure.
I want him to come out of hiding. I want to meet him.
Oh, sure.
And, if you're a little shy, number 1 Austrian Jets fan, just turn off the camera and just talk to us.
Okay.
I mean, a guy who supports the show this much, and by the way, all of you out there, the moolah that he is throwing at me, Boy Green is, to be on every week. He's got to pay those bills.
So yeah, please.
The best way to pay those bills is for you to chip in and say, "Hey, I'll give $2.99 in honor of Bob's presence," or something like that.
Please. Yeah, I've got a family, for God's sake. So if you
That'd
get
be $2.99, not $299.
I would take that too, though. So,
Yeah,
anything. Yeah. So, super chat, super stickers, membership, gifting. Feel free to make it rain from the high heavens. We're almost on top of the season, folks. So, I'd really appreciate it if we could start working some of that in. So, folks, please let's put this all together. Bob, let me ask you about this real quick. I don't have it in the show notes, but I just came across the article because I was reading it. NFL Media Group, that's like NFL.com, NFL Network, and those folks. They gave all their picks for the awards, MVP, this, that, the other, and showed who voted for who on all of the awards, offense player, defense player. The Jets really didn't make any of those awards except for one. Coach of the Year, Aaron Glenn earned 2 votes from the panel. Now, that wasn't enough to win this made-up award in the NFL media landscape, but I'm curious, if Aaron Glenn is to win Coach of the Year, what does he have to do to win it, in your mind?
9 wins.
9 wins, that's it?
Yeah.
And what, just making the playoffs or something?
Well, winning the playoffs would be the cherry on top.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I'm sure next week you're going to want me to make my prediction and everybody else as to how many wins. And that's 9's way more than I'm expecting.
Actually, let's just do it right now, Bob, if you are prepared to do it, because next week I imagine we'll be heavy on Jets Steelers, and I'll probably be poking your brain for that prediction on a week-to-week basis. So, a week out from the season, basically. What do you believe? Give me your thoughts on the Jets heading into the 2025
Well, if you'll
season.
recall, in my first conversation with Indy, he was desperately trying to get me to make an actual bet.
Yeah, moolah.
On several
money.
things, and I said I'm not a betting man. I don't bet on anything.
Of course not. We would never ask you to. Yeah.
If I'm Vegas now, I'm over under 6.5.
Yeah. Let's see where they're at right now.
And yet I think they're going to be vastly improved. But I still have my doubts at quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And I still have, from my first conversation with Indy, I'm still asking, where's the number 2 wide receiver? What are they going to get out of him? Although Nick Farrier on Monday morning, I thought made a great point, and he was statistically trying to go, well, if Wilson gets these many catches and the tight ends, all 2 of them, well, now you got 4 of them. 2 of which will be playing on a lot of downs. Anyway, his point was there isn't going to be a lot of room statistically for that second wide receiver. Interesting way to look at it, but a lot of those catches would obviously go to wide receiver 2 instead of such a reliance on everybody else if Fields can deliver the ball. And I did some statistical checking this week about Fields, and the interesting thing is that his percentage completion rate when he throws it between 1 and 10 yards is like 10% higher. It's like in the 75% area, and that's what I think the Jets want him to do. So that's a plus. But Willie Colon, who you'll remember played for the Jets and won a ring with the Steelers, has been sitting in for Boomer and Gio this week. And I usually watch that in the morning as I'm doing some of my exercises. And they asked him about Fields this week, and he made the point, his problem, if there is a problem, is that at Ohio State, they didn't really rely on him or train him very much to make the short distance throws. They wanted him to throw the ball long because he had so much talent out there between Olave and Garrett Wilson, and they had such a good running attack. So they didn't need to have short passes. He was supposed to open up the game, and after everybody was trying to stop the run, he would beat them long. And that's why he got into, according to Willie Colon, into the bad habits that he's got, because he really wasn't well trained at Ohio State. So anyway, 6.5, if I'm a betting man, would be
that's the line right now. Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't put it beyond Fields, because we've seen the last 2-3 years that these young quarterbacks get to a third team and they blossom.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, and too many of them have been with the Jets originally.
It's true.
But no, I think 6 to 7 games is about what they can win. I think the games will be much more competitive, except maybe against the Buffaloes and the really good teams that are out there. And yet, I think they're going to be much better than they have been. I expect their defense to be pretty tough. It really would have been great if they could get another pass rusher, both to slow down how quickly they have to bring Jermaine Johnson back, and also for the rotation. Because you can't keep these guys on the field for 15 or 20 plays, especially early in the season when the weather's going to be really warm. So anyway, that's what I'm thinking. And we can get into Fields and some of his numbers a little later if you like.
By the way, thank you to MJ from Jax. He's a Jets fan on social media, responded to my roster counting. Currently, there's 54 players on the 53-man roster, Bob. So inevitably, no corresponding move was made yet, at least publicly to the fans. I'm sure they would have had to.
Yeah, I think they would have had to almost instantaneously.
It just must not be. Yeah, exactly. It just must not be public yet. So we don't know what it's going to be, but we'll all find out when the league's transaction wire comes out about 3 or 4 o'clock. So shout out to that fan again, MJ from Jax.
I think the cut could be a tight end.
I think it could be because technically you mentioned that there's 4 on the roster. If you count Andrew Beck, there's 5 because if you go to Mason Taylor, Stone Smart, Jeremy Ruckert, Jelani Woods, who's the new addition, and Andrew Beck, you go through those 5. Maybe Jeremy Ruckert could be on the way.
By the way, I've told you earlier, one of my sons is a big Colts fan, and when I told him about Jelani Cobb going to the Jets, he usually will write a very sarcastic remark about who the Jets have gotten, like, he's no good, blah, blah, blah. He said to me, I got to admit, it's going to be interesting to me to see how well he performs because when he's healthy, ...
Yeah, well.
So, if he can stay healthy and if he can quickly learn the system, because he's only going to have a week.
That's true.
This guy could be, that really would be the second real threat. And that could really take, again, a lot of the pressure off a need for a second wide receiver. The other question, though, I have about him is how well does he block?
Apparently, from what people say, he's a decent blocker. Now, I can't really speak to it because I haven't been watching Colts tape, so I don't really know. But again, everything is intriguing on the surface. 6'7", 250 pounds, apparently a very decent blocker. You've seen the receiving prowess of the young man in his rookie season. He showed a lot of pop. But to your point, he has been out for the last 2 years with injuries. He had hamstring injuries in his sophomore season that ruled him out basically for the entire year. And then last year he had toe surgery that ruled him out for the entire year. So he has been MIA, but there was some pop this preseason. I think he had 7 catches for 75 yards, which was among the preseason leaders at the tight end position. So he obviously showed enough health in that moment where the Jets were like, hey, we'll take a shot on this young man.
Oh, it was definitely worth a shot. By the way, I don't know this, Paul.
Yeah.
What's the cost of a waiver pickup? I know what it is in baseball. What is it in football?
Yeah, all of it is just it is a blood for blood trade. If you claim a player off waivers, you must immediately cut someone from the 53-man roster. Beyond that, there is no price to pay.
Okay. If he has a contract, you obviously have to.
Of course, yeah. You sort of inherit the contract when you claim someone from waivers. So whatever
I'm
the contract
guessing is, as being in his 3rd year now, or he would be his 4th year.
Yeah.
That he may have a contract because he probably got
that would be the last year of his deal. So yes, for those who don't know, any non-first round pick draft choice gets a 4-year standard contract. So to your point, well said, even though it doesn't look like it from statistics, he had his rookie year and he lost the last 2 seasons due to season-ending injury. So he would only have 1 year left on his deal, which is this year that is to come. So it's a sort of a perfect situation for him to prove himself. And then if he does, the Jets can keep him or whatever happens there with his future.
He must have been a hell of a prospect because I thought I read this week that he had some of those same injuries to the bottom part of his body while he was in college.
Oh, I had not heard that. So that's
Yeah,
good
I'm going to check.
information.
I should really double check that before I put it out here to Indy and other people who want to bet on how well he does.
That's
But
also true.
I think he did have some injuries, but he was a 3rd-round pick.
He was a top 100 pick in the NFL
Yeah.
draft. So that's very high placement. So certainly, again, the potential's there. The Jets talked about it. Darren Muji and Robbie Payton, Darren Muji's right-hand man, talked about how intrigued they are by it. Hey, if all it costs was a waiver wire spot, which you had the benefit of being one of the worst teams in football last year, so you can utilize the 7th overall pick. That's what I'm wearing right now. This isn't a Justin Fields jersey. This is a waiver wire priority jersey. Number 7 is what the Jets had. So I'm just trying to represent that here on the
Oh,
program.
is that why you're wearing it?
Yeah, 100%. That's exactly why.
Not because of a certain quarterback.
Not that I'm aware of. No, absolutely not.
We might demand that you turn around and see what's
you could definitely take my word for it that the nameplate says waiver wire. It definitely says that on the back, which a custom jersey you guys can.
You've always been honest with me, so I will take you at your word.
See, that's what I'm talking about. See, that's what this relationship's all about, Bob. It's trust. There's obviously a kinship that exists between us, which is beautiful, and I think it's palpable for the fans. Before we get to those crazy animals, those fans, we have 400 of them in the room. Thank you very much. Like the video, hit subscribe if you guys are watching on YouTube. Bob, anything else about this season you want to get off your chest? Is there a player you feel really good
also
about?
did a lot of. I started to look at the Steelers, and in fact, I listened in to probably the most listened to podcast. Maybe I should hold it till next week, but they were more concerned with putting a bird dog on fields next week than they were about our running attack. In fact, they didn't really even talk about our running attack. So I did a little bit of looking at the Steelers' running defense. You want to hear about their running defense?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, glad you asked.
All right.
Let's see. Where is it here? Oh, you know what? Let's wait until we get into the phone calls, and then I'll pull it up because I don't have, for some reason, I don't have it right here, but I do have it.
Well, all right. That's okay.
Okay.
Sure. I would just say the one thing on the Steelers is their first-round draft choice, Derek Harmon, looks like he's going to be out for a significant period of time. So he was a big boy defensive tackle, so he will not be available, it appears, for this Week 1 Jets-Steelers game, so that can only be a benefit for the Jets. But let's do that. Again, we have 400 people in the room. Guys, if you want to call in, now is the time to do so. We're going to play a quick timeout, and then as if you are watching on YouTube, there'll be a pinned comment at the top that you can click and call in if you feel the pleasure to do so. Get your participation trophy in, folks. It's time to call in.
Boy Green daily, Boy Green daily. Talking Jets football, man. Boy Green daily, Boy Green daily. New York Jets Football Club. Offense, defense, special teams, watch Jets football with Boy Green. Jets, Jets. Let's go.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. Again, Paul Eston Jr. here, a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Ebby.com. Welcome back to Boy Green Daily, baby. We're here with 400 people in the room on Friday, August 29th. Again, I got a big fantasy draft event I'm going to be hosting at a local bar restaurant, Smoky Bones. I'll give them a shout out. Sure, why not? The Smoky Bones restaurant. I'll be emceeing that event and also participating in the draft, doing some, signing autographs, kissing babies. But then, hey, get down to the brass tacks, which is me trying to win this fantasy league again, which I don't know. Yeah. This trophy is very interesting. The Manchester Champs League. Who is this? Oh, here's some of my team names in the past. Winters is coming. Brian Winters. Good times. 2018. Yep, won that championship. Oh, 2023. Oh, is that Paul again? Wow, what keeps happening there? Discount Double Jet, a second championship in our Champs League. So we've only been around for so long, but just collecting rings. Boom, championship. It's just sort of what I do, people. So I'm looking for the 3-beat, baby. Let's go. That'll be very nice. Let's put that back up there for now. Oh, yeah, that'll be quite nice. Let's bring him back in here. Bob Lederer. Sorry, I had to go full screen.
That's okay. So I found the numbers on the Steelers. I'll make this fast so you can get right to the calls.
Yeah.
Last year, the Steelers were number 20 in total defense in the NFL. They were number 6 against the run.
Oh, all right. That's pretty decent.
They were number 3 in third down defense.
Hey, that's pretty good.
And they were number 13 in red zone defense.
All right.
So that number 3 in third down defense and number 6 against the run, when we're going to do a lot of running on 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, could be quite telling.
Well, that's when the boys become men, Bob. When the Jets are running the football, the Steelers know they're running the football, and we see who wins the battle and the trenches. So I will be fascinated to see that. Another thing I'm fascinated to see is when memberships are coming in. Thank you, J-Boy. Appreciate you. That membership went to Bial66. Thank you, J-Boy, for that. Again, guys, get your raffle tickets in. You're running out of time. Today is August 29th. There are only 31 days in August for those counting at home, which means Sunday is your final day to submit raffle tickets, Monday, September 1st, and we will be awarding an amazing prize pack to one lucky contributor to the Boy Green Coffee Club, baby. So, guys, if you want to get in on the action, now is the time to do so. All you have to do is spend $3 on the channel to be eligible for our amazing prize pack, which I will throw on the screen real quick before we get to the phone call so you guys can see it. Here it is, baby. A New York Jets Highland Mint Super Bowl 3 coin flashed in 24 karat gold. We have the Kickoff Kitchen Cookbook, which is a beautiful hardcover cookbook from Super Bowl chef Tim Lopez, 64 game day recipes. We have the New York Jets logo athletic prime hoodie t-shirt, and I'm throwing in a vintage Jets player t-shirt from the past. All those items are going to one lucky person on September 1st. If you want a chance at them, just spend $3 on the channel. That's all it costs, baby. The little money sign on YouTube is how you do it, and you have a lot of options in which you can donate if you guys would like to do that to help keep the lights on and keep Bob on the show. Do you like Bob? Do you like the money I pay Bob? Then for God's sakes, come on, man, send that money.
Even if you like Bob and don't like, even if you like Bob and you don't like the money that he's paying.
Sure, yeah, either way, that works for me. God bless. All right,
I may ask him for a raise any week now. You never know.
He could be, and I'm going to need the proper shekels to get that as well. So we'll see. Real quick, I see Rob Polinsky. There's a lot of people that come in and out of the show. Brandon Smith apparently was promoted, Rob, but we, a Jet fan, thank you to MJ from Jax on my Twitter account. He counted it up. The Jets have 54 players on the 53-man roster, which obviously that math doesn't math. So they're going to have to make a corresponding roster move at some point later today officially to the fans. So we'll keep an eye out for that one. But it was Brandon Smith who got that call. Shout out to Brandon Smith, one of our favorites. Let's go to the phone lines. Lots of people calling in. And let's go first. It's a Friday, so Philly Noodles special here on the program.
Wait a minute. Philly, nothing against you. Where's Hef? I'm used to
yeah. Sometimes we always usually get them. So I've seen them.
Okay, sorry about that. Okay, let's go to Hef. What's up?
Hey, you got muscle, Bob. Thanks.
Wow, that was impressive. He's like, get out of here. Where's that
now
guy?
Now you got me in trouble with Philly Noodles.
You did.
How am I going to get past that?
I'm pretty quick. I'm not going to hang on for long. But so anyway, Jake Asman was interviewing Rich Eisen.
Oh, that's so cool. I haven't heard the interview yet, but it seemed really cool.
Yeah, it was a taped interview, so I wasn't able to. It was something on his radio program, but I was trying to get Jake to mention the Matt Snell thing.
Oh, yes.
But now we know that Jake has it in on
That's
Rich.
his second time interviewing Rich. He interviewed him in person. I think it was at the Combine, and then that for the radio show. So that's awesome. Yeah, clearly he does.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we know Jake has Rich's ear. So that's where we got to apply the pressure.
No doubt.
To get into that.
We just have to get this Esden character to, when he's on once a week, find a way to squeeze it in.
Yeah.
I was watching the other day on Jake just to see how he was going to squeeze it in.
Yeah.
And there was too much other activity, unfortunately.
I know.
Something
now the
about
other thing
rosters.
the other thing is the Steelers aren't so thrilled with the way Rodgers is performing. They're a little bit like, they're having buyer's remorse here. They're not so excited.
Think how much they'll feel about that after week 1, baby.
Yeah.
Well, and he was quoted this week, our former quarterback, about how wonderful it is to work with with Arthur White.
I roll.
Which exactly, I looked at that and I said, "Wow!" Now that's and the press in Pittsburgh is like New York, like only for the Steelers.
Is it?
'Cause that's
Yeah.
because
Oh, okay.
Pittsburgh is a Steelers town.
Right.
And so he went out of his way to really, put a lot of plaudits on about the offensive coach and all how innovative he is.
Oh, wow. Arthur Smith. Oh,
Yeah, I'm sorry, I said Arthur White, but it's Arthur Smith. Yeah,
Right,
White
right.
Smith. It's all the same.
yeah. Who cares? Yeah, I get it. I get what you're saying.
When you get to be my age, the names don't matter. It's just the ideas.
Yeah, but look, you
You're
remembered
getting
Hep.
there.
You remembered Hep.
Yeah,
That name is
you'll
in
be
there.
You'll be there in a couple of decades, and you'll know what I mean.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
It's like
I'm looking forward
yesterday I thought I heard Paul, you were having trouble remembering a name, and I went, "Oh God, what a moment! This is."
it was historic. It was pretty.
Now, yeah, I like Brandon Smith too as the third. As the third, I wouldn't mind him actually for as often as this. The second wideout's going to get the ball. I don't see Brandon Smith was catching everything. It seemed like this year, and he's a tall, lanky guy, big target. It might be a good fit. I don't know.
Good for him. I can't believe again that's why we call it an initial 53. We're like Jet fans. Yeah, Brandon Smith. I hope he makes it. Oh, he didn't make it. Oh, he's on the practice squad. Oh, he's on the practice squad. Wait, he's on the 53. What a roller coaster. For God's sakes, it's only been a couple of days. It's, let's see what happens. But again, who is the corresponding roster move? Okay, we're all going to make a prediction right here. We're going to go around the horn. Okay. So Brandon Smith is on this roster. I imagine the corresponding move is not cutting him and sending him back. So someone else is getting cut. We'll start with you, Heb. Who do you believe is getting cut for Brandon Smith later today?
Ruckert.
Jeremy Ruckert. Okay, Bob?
I'll make it a duo on that.
Okay, another Jeremy Ruckert. And yep, see you, Jeremy Ruckert. Boot your ass off the island. See you, pal. There you go.
But he can go to they can put him on the practice squad.
Sure.
Yeah.
If he wants to go after they kick him off and he waves his ass back,
Well,
sure.
there is a veteran status or whatever that kicks in where you can't go on the practice squad. Maybe you've been in the league for 5 years or whatever it is. You can't just stash really veteran players.
You actually can, as a matter of fact. So rule changes happened in the COVID world. So, okay, let's just break all this down. This is good for the fans to know. So on a NFL practice squad, you're allowed to have 16 players as of right now. Now, you can sometimes have 17 if you have an international pathway program player like Leander Vegan from Germany. So the Jets are allowed to have 17. But most of the time, you're only allowed to have 16. 6 of those 10 spots can go to players of any designation. They can be Bob. They can be you. Doesn't matter. They can be me. They can be Tim Tebow. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they're in the league for a year, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. Doesn't matter. 6 of the 10 spots can do that. The other 10 have to be players of 2 years or fewer. So rookies, first-year players, second-year players, those are allowed. So yes, as a matter of fact, there are 6 exemptions, if you even want to call it that, but 6 spots on the roster on a practice squad that could go to any length of time. There's 0 restrictions or limitations whatsoever. So Jeremy Ruckert is heading into his 4th year. So he is subject to waivers if the Jets cut him right now. The other 31 teams have a chance to claim him. Good friggin' luck, pal, if you want to. God bless. But if he does not get claimed, the Jets would have an opportunity to bring him back on the PS.
Hep, I hate to say goodbye, but I understand Philly's already looking up my address, and I don't like what he's got in mind.
I was just going to say, bring Philly back on. Love you guys. Peace out.
Have a great weekend, Hep.
All right, there we go. Philly Noodles, take 2. Wow, that was incredibly rude by Bob. He pressed that button.
I apologize. Not enough.
It's all good,
I apologize.
Bobby. It's all good, man. I'm cool with it. I gotta say, I don't think Ruckert's getting cut, man. It's not Ruckert.
And who is it? Okay, you give your prediction. I'll have everyone who wants on the show do it. Who's getting the cut?
Maybe Weston. I know it sounds dirty, but there's no way they cut.
It can't be Weston, so he's on the short-term IR, so he doesn't even count towards the roster right now. So it can't be him. Give me another name. Another name.
I would. It's not going to be. Yeah. I mean, it really could be him then. I mean, because I would say it's not going to be
Rucker,
Malachi Moore. Moore did his thing. He's a special teamer. I mean, the
Moore,
kicker.
who are you talking about on Moore?
Malachi Moore.
Well, yeah, he was a high draft choice. He's not. He's
Yeah, he's not going to get cut.
Okay.
I mean, it really could be him. I just don't. I mean, I'm looking at the roster online right now.
Some people are saying Xavier Gibson. We're seeing that in the chat. But with him winning the punt return job, I don't see that either. So kill your ego. I don't think so.
Not after the explanation that Glenn gave the other day. About
Definitely not. I don't think so.
Every practice punt.
It could be him. I mean, didn't they bring back one of the tackles that they thought they weren't going to?
Who? They brought back Marquise Hayes, but he's on the practice squad. He's not on the 53.
So what are our tackles right now?
So we've got Chukwuma Okora 4. We have Armand Membu. We have Olu Fashanu, and I guess Max Mitchell's the left tackle backup right now.
Yeah, they're not going to cut Matt.
And the kid we got from Poole, the kid we got from Kansas City.
Oh, Essa Poole. That is correct. Right. So he came from Kansas City. That's a great call, Bob. So he's also in that group.
Oof. And they let him. He went into the first 53. Man, I would say they'll cut his. I feel like they'd cut him. But
damn, okay.
I would be surprised if they cut Stone Smart.
Right. It could be one. They have 5 tight ends. So if we're going to throw a javelin at somebody, it's probably one of the tight ends.
I'm going Stone. If you want my honest opinion, I think it's
Smart.
Stone.
So you're stoning Stone Smart.
Yeah,
you're going to stone him to death on the 53. Sorry, pal. Okay.
It's only because
it might be one of the tight ends, but then it might not be Ruckert because going into the first game and with their new tight end having to learn the system from scratch.
Exactly.
He's probably only going to learn 10 or 12 plays going into next week.
He might not even be active on game day, to be honest with you. In such a short amount of time, maybe. But
it sounds ugly, but he is a proven veteran in the system with the Jets.
Who?
As a Ruckert. He's a proven.
Ruckert. Yes, yeah. I agree. Yes.
I mean, it's almost like cutting Beck. You wouldn't cut Beck because
right.
He knows football right now. So I mean, yeah, I think it could be Stone Smart. And I mean, Stone Smart will get picked up if he hits waivers. That's for sure. I think he gets picked up.
Yeah, man. Wow.
But I mean, it could be Stone Smart. If it's Ruckert, it's Ruckert. But I just don't. I really I have a hard time seeing it be him. Now let's get into the brass tacks of why we're here. I tried to tell everybody they had to get off of that Pritchett thing, making the first 53. It was not going to happen.
Yeah.
AJ Martinez was not going to happen. You just knew there were certain players. It feels good at the moment. Donovan Edwards, not going to happen. These are all people that we should have realized. It just happens. You have these hot summers and everyone thinks there's something. Like Brandon Smith.
You just stoned Smart. People may be stoning you in the streets for disrespecting the Brandon Smith name.
Well, he looks sharp, but he's 26, so he has to have one of these like breakout years. And you're 27 years old, dude. You're a stone's throw away from 30, bro. Like you should have already been probably something about 3 years ago.
Yes, I want to apologize. You're right. He's 26, not 27. I aged him by a year. He does turn 27 at the end of the season, but yeah, 26.
That's what I'm saying. Like I mean, listen, hey, you never know. He might have one of those weird, freakish like back half of your like good looking career. But he's been in the league 3 years.
He said more practice time. Yeah, because the other 2 guys have been injured.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Like it looks like it feels good, but dude, he's been going against practice squad and he's been going against second stringers. Wait until he's like butt up against Jalen Ramsey. I don't want the kid out there. I don't even think he has if his release is too slow, what's the point of him?
Yeah, but Ramsey's going to play Garrett Wilson.
Oh yeah, of course. Well, I'm just saying,
he's going to try.
Yeah. You better hope his ass can cover him. I mean,
did you guys see that viral clip from I think it had to have been no, was Jalen? Yeah, because they made the trade this offseason. So where Garrett gives Jalen the old stop and go. Oh my God! Because the quarterback play sucks, nothing came of it. But he gave Jalen the and Jalen went boop, fell to the ground, and Garrett went right by him like, oh my God. Oh, so, Jalen, I can't wait for that spin cycle.
So, Bob, I did want to bring up what you were talking about with the run game against the Steelers. Like, this is big. So, this first game is more than just, first off, they know Fields. They just had him last year.
Yep.
So, they know what he looks like. They know what he moves like. They know
and they've had a lot of practice time against him, out there.
Exactly. We're talking about what? Like months on end how many? I mean, he was there the whole season. So, they've seen him at practice.
And most likely he ran what are they called?
Team.
That's right.
The scout team, yeah.
That's right. So what bothers us is the bookends. So I think that people don't realize that first signing that Moog made when he went and got Beck was for a reason. They knew they were going to run, and he's going to be chipping the life out of them
100%.
week one. He's going to have to chip every time he runs out there at a fullback. Whoever it is has to chip Highsmith and has to chip, what's his face? Watts.
Yes.
It's just going to have to happen. And I think we're going to see a lot of counter. That play action better move right, and Justin Fields is going to have to throw the ball. I don't care what anyone thinks. That blitz is coming. Tomlin's going to smell the blood in the water.
They're going to dare him to pass. They're going to load the shit out of the box. They're going to. This is, and by the way, wow, Paul, what a genius defensive game plan you just came up with. They're going to double Garrett Wilson, and they're going to load the box with the other 9, and they're going to say, "Beat us." And right now, okay, Bob's been asking for it every week. Poor Bob on the side of the street. Wide receiver 2, please. Wide receiver 2 in my cup. Who's going to be the guy that is a man beater? Because that's what's going to be. It's going to be straight up to have an opportunity to do something. That's going to be everyone's game plan until proven otherwise.
If you heard Moog's sidekick, the interview yesterday, man, that
Robbie
guy was
Payton.
all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
He was all over the place. He was lost. He mentioned Arian Smith we see contributing like immediately because he's going to have to.
Yeah.
Like week one, he's going to have to burn the barnyard and get out there.
Yeah, you're right. They're going to have to, like it. I talk about the Super Bowl game again, but they threw one long to Maynard to basically show the Colts that they could beat their zone.
That's right.
And they're going to have to throw long to Arian Smith. I'm guessing certainly by the end of the first quarter, if not earlier, just to show that he can throw it out there and he can hit it out there. That's what he does particularly well from all the reports that we have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so. And before I get off, Bob, how do you feel about those new jerseys? I know you hate the jerseys and the hats and everything that we could buy off the Jets, but supposedly they're Namath inspired with with the 60s cuffs. What do you think about those?
I said this before. I don't care about the uniforms. This is football. Not a fashion show.
It's Gotham City football.
I don't really. Yeah. Well, listen. If you guys want to spend your money on that go right ahead.
I 100% will.
That's what. But that's why they do it. They do it to sell jerseys.
Yes, of course, 1,000%.
When I was in New York 2 weeks ago, and we were coming back through LaGuardia Airport, and I passed a store, and they had Jets paraphernalia, and I picked up one Jets cap because I don't really have a good Jets cap.
Oh, you got a new one?
No, I didn't get a new one because it was $35. And I said,
"Oh, that's a steal! $35."
Oh, that's a steal! I was just complaining last week. Their brand new Jet sideline hats are $50, and I was at Jets.
All right, I'll go back, and I'll
get that 35 while you still can.
Hold on. Chat, Discord, and BG. I have something here,
okay,
Bob. If we all chipped in, since there's 400 of us watching, like and subscribe, could we not pull enough money to get you a Gotham City jersey you would have to wear on the show? Would you wear that jersey?
This is the brand new jersey. This is the rivalry jersey on the screen. It's called
so it's not that one. You don't want me to wear black.
We want you to wear that. That's a green and black jersey.
Oh, it is?
It's very light, but it's sort of there. Yeah.
Yes, I would. I guess I would wear it.
Wow.
What we gotta do?
I have my name. I have my
money
name
to BG. We'll pull our money to BG. BG, we'll talk on the side. Everybody chips in $1.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's true. We'll get it very quickly for the brand new jersey. That's it for the rivalry. So okay.
And buy the book, of course. Buy the book.
Yeah, of course. Buy the book. Buy the book.
Hey, listen, everybody. The book is a keeper.
That's what I hear. That's what I hear.
I mean, it's something you'll be able to pass it on to the next in line. That little 3-year-old boy you have, or 4-year-old girl you have.
Yes. Yeah.
They're going to want to know about that. I mean, I have grandkids.
Okay.
I have one as old as 13.
Sure.
And my youngest is turning 4 tomorrow.
Oh, congratulations!
And I've got
birthday,
no, my youngest is not even 1 yet.
Oh,
and
okay.
The next oldest will turn 4 tomorrow. And I'm telling them, they don't understand what I'm saying. That book that your daddy has upstairs that has my name on it?
Yeah.
When you're old enough to read it, you should read it. You shouldn't read it now because there's some stuff in there that little kids shouldn't be consuming. But when you get old enough to read it, but like I told you, when I went to the book fair in Georgia years ago, they told me this is a book that people are going to be looking at in digital form, of course, 50 years from now, because it is the only book of its kind.
Yes, I agree.
Well, anyway, yes, you can, if you guys really want to get me a jersey and wear that thing. Okay. But I make no promises. I may the next week revert back to my Namath uniform, but
I see. Okay.
We can see. My heart's in the right place, obviously.
Obviously, and that's great to see.
If you want to give your money to Woody Johnson.
Or give your money to me, baby. Fleur Lily said, here's a few shekels for you. Yes.
Wow.
Look at that.
That's right.
Fleur Lily says, here's a few shekels for you. $5 plus with his previous super chat combinations. Fleur Lily, you've added a pile of raffle.
I'll tell you what we should do, Paul.
What's that?
We should, if you guys really are serious.
Yeah.
We should set a goal. We should set a goal maybe for this week and next week as to how many new not subscribers, but new contributions are made for whatever. Okay. And if you exceed that number, then maybe we talk about, and this is entirely up to you, Paul, because the money's going into your wallet and not into mine.
Yeah.
So anyway.
I like that.
By the way, shekels is SHECKELS, just in case anybody is.
I was going to point that out, but Bob, I'm glad you did. So there you go for Fleur Lily. But appreciate it.
We want to teach kids the right way.
Sure. And there's 13 raffle tickets in your pile for Lily. Thank you very much. We have more phone calls to get to, but I want to get to another super chat here. This is from Troy Sturgis, baby.
Wow.
You're $1 away from a raffle ticket. Again, doesn't have to come today. Could come over the weekend. But he asked, BJ, are you concerned about John Simpson in his back? He did not practice in the most recent practice I was aware of. So if they practiced yesterday, I did not see anything because I was doing busy stuff with the Oswego High School football team. So if there was a follow-up practice, I did not see it. But the most recent practice I heard, which would have been Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, he did not practice. I am very concerned about John Simpson. And if he does not go, I imagine the offensive line the Jets would trot out week one is from left to right. We have Olu Muiwa Fashanu at left tackle. You have Joe Tippmann at left guard. You have Josh Myers at center, AVT, Elijah Tucker at right guard, and then Armand Membu at right tackle. I believe that's the five they trot out, and I am very concerned. Bob, are you?
Well, the other day, you'll recall they asked Glenn who's starting at center, and he was non-committal. And I think that's why he was non-committal.
Well, he was committal.
He has two centers, and Tippmann can play left guard, better than Myers can play left guard. So that may be the reason why he said what he said. There was no follow-up.
Whoa, Bob, he was definitely committal. They said, hey, what are your thoughts on the center competition? And he says a center will play. And they confirmed that. Now, who the center is, he left that part out, but he confirmed that a center will in fact play. Which, by the way, Bob, so I don't know how much have you been seeing a lot of these AG press conference moments on Twitter or anything like that?
Yeah, I watched Muji yesterday.
Okay, see, there you go. Well,
the reason a heck of a lot.
No,
Muji, what do you think your offensive line? I think they're pretty good. What do you think of your defensive line? I think they're pretty good.
Yeah,
not that I expect him
vanilla. No, of course not.
I expect him to spill his guts and tell us everything. And blah, blah, so who knows? Yeah, I still want to know who the other quarterback's going to be that they need to get.
Don't we all? But I would just say that with AG, there's been a running bit, and I've been tweeting it out, is AG versus the Jets media. Anytime there's been something testy between Aaron Glenn and a reporter, and that once again happened on the center thing. They went back and forth. It was first with Aaron Glenn and Rich Cimini about, hey, the center competition. Do you have an answer? Yeah. It's going. The competition's going on. Okay. Who is it? A center. So a center will play. A center will play. Who is it? A center will play. And then another reporter gets in on the action and goes, so when will the decision be made? Well, that's my decision. Could you wait all the way to the end of the week? Well, that's my decision. So he's just had a lot of this.
It sounds like Aaron Glenn learned something from Belichick too.
And maybe a little Parcells action. So
little Parcells, but that sounds more like Belichick.
Well, I'll try to pretend that Belichick doesn't exist. Although I do. Here it is. You guys will love this. I've not read this yet. Brady versus Belichick. My boy Gary Myers. This is probably sacrilege to show this Patriots book on the screen here, but the dynasty debate: who's more responsible for their success, Bill Belichick or Tom Brady? I imagine a lot of you guys don't
Let's
even care about this.
let's even it out.
Yeah, see, there you go. Well, you win. You win. This one, I've not cracked that book open yet. Gary Myers sent me a copy. Thank you, Gary, for that. I appreciate it. I'll have to get into that later. I love Gary, and we'll have to have Gary on the show.
Belichick is quoted in my book, too, pretty extensively.
Ooh, okay. Belichick versus Belichick off. I love that, Bob. Thanks for let's you win that contest, by the way. I yield. I bend the knee. For sure. All right, we got a bunch of people waiting to call in here on the show. Let's go next. We have Bubba Badshaw. You're next. What's up, Badshaw?
What's going on, BG and Bob? How are y'all doing this morning?
We're good, Bradshaw. How are you?
Doing good. I wanted to first say I'm pumped football's, back. I think it kicked off last night, right? I know Mizzou played. I don't know what other teams were going at it last night.
There was other players. Yep. Yeah, other teams, college football action. Yep.
Yep. So I mean, it's officially back. And whatnot. So I'm pumped about that. Now regarding the Micah Parsons situation.
Sure.
So, we're going to the tailgate, going to the game, going to the Cowboys game, all that good stuff.
Sure.
So I was pumped to hear, well, Micah Parsons, he's not on the team anymore.
That's right. Nope.
Kenny Clark.
He's good.
He's really good. And I just wonder what are y'all's thoughts on our run game now that he's a factor and all that. That's something I was thinking about the other night. I'm curious to know y'all's response.
Yeah, I would say this right off the top. I would much rather have, and this might sound weird, but I'd much rather have the interior pocket penetration versus the outside bend. Micah Parsons can line up left, right, up, down, center. He scares the crap out of me. And so to know that chess piece has been removed from the game, again, all due respect, Kenny Clark is a multi-time Pro Bowler, All-Pro. He's one of the best defensive tackles in football that no one talks about. He's really good. He's 29, so he still has plenty of meat on the bone in his prime. But if I had the choice, like they said, Ball, you can face off against Kenny Clark or Micah Parsons. I'm picking Kenny Clark, and it's not a disrespect to Kenny Clark. Micah Parsons is just really good. So if I'm the Jets, I trust our interior offensive line of, we'll see if the Simpson thing is more serious, Simpson, Tittman, AVT. Let's go to work, and maybe battles will be more even. Like Kenny will win some, our offensive line will win some, and our quarterback is mobile. Like, again, Micah just scares me. So while he's still a high impact player, Kenny Clark, right now in this moment in time, I think it is a pro Jet argument about that Parsons conversation, at least from the pass rush, because Micah Parsons wasn't really good in run defense. Go ahead.
And Justin Fields takes too many sacks. So there's another factor.
Yeah. Well, and I just want to say, I'm not wanting to compare which one's better, because Micah Parsons, he's playing edge, he's playing, he's dropping back. He can play anywhere. But I just was like, well, maybe, that's great, but they do also have Kenny Clark now, which is nobody to screw around with.
Definitely not.
And whatnot. But also, I just wanted to say, Bob, I'm glad you've been on the shows here. I really pushed for it. I really enjoyed the book. And I don't get to call in a lot on Fridays. I commute usually with my cousin, and so I don't get to call in a lot and talk to you. But I really enjoy having you on, man. And I did want to just leave y'all with this. So, Bob, when you were making your book, and you can kind of take this question and run with it how you want to, but what was a player or something you found out about a player that you really didn't see coming, like maybe somebody that you didn't really think contributed, you didn't know they contributed as much as they did to our Super Bowl win, or something like that? Could you answer that? You can take it however you can take that question.
Stay on for a second, and I'll tell you. Curly Johnson, the Jets punter. Curly Johnson was the jokester on the team. And you got to have this on any winning team, a guy who just raises the level and keeps everybody in a good mood. And anybody is susceptible to him and his practical jokes. And in his case, he even pulled practical jokes on Joe. He because Joe was such a womanizer, he called Joe up and went into falsetto, and he convinced Joe that they should go out for a date that night. And Joe got dressed to the nines, got ready to come out, and the whole team knew about it. And they were all hiding behind the curtain as Joe came out of the elevator, and up came Curly and said, "Hi, Dia, how you doing?" And Joe was sad. So I mean, yeah, it's his chapter. If you should read it again, because he was a great team motivator. And he even pulled his jokes on Weeb. He would imitate Weeb to Weeb's face.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I gathered from the book. I remember when I read the book, I was like, this is the guy I'd want to hang out with. Like, out of the group, like, this is the guy you'd want to hang out with and have a good time, go out on the town with,
Yeah, unfortunately, he went out on the town too many times, even for his wife's, appreciation.
Hey, by the way, Bob, quick question, because I know Badshah listened to the audio version, so he may be a good person for this too. Was that voice included in the audio version of the book? That voice?
That's a darn good question. I didn't get that far in the audio version.
No,
I wanted to do the audio version, and they wouldn't let me.
Badshah, can you confirm or deny? Was that voice?
No, I never got the voice. I never heard the voice on there, but I will.
It's too bad.
And I think I told you this, Bob, but what was funny was, you've got like the whole roster on a page. There's like a page of the full roster.
Yes.
And it was like how tall they were. Well, it literally read all that to me. So it like started with the number 1 and went all the way to 99.
Brandon Badshah, this many pounds, this weight.
You had time to go to the men's room and come back.
I guess so.
Well, and I enjoyed it because I honestly liked, they'd be like offensive linemen, 6'2", 200, and
right. The stark differences to now, right? Yeah,
from UTEP.
Yes.
In fact, I will tell you that the proofreaders at the book, at the publisher, they went through it with a fine-tooth comb to make sure that I had the numbers and the sizes and the weights correct. And they
appreciate that level of detail.
Yeah, they didn't want to take any chances, so they did that and called me out and said, "Hey, you got this here, you got that there. Which one is correct?" And I had to go back and find the source and find out myself which one was the most correct one.
I like that.
Yeah.
No, that was definitely, I was sitting there and I was listening to it while I was at work, and it was just cracking me up because I would say it went on for about 30 minutes, just like this person, Joe Namath, number 12, 219 pounds, and it was just like college, Alabama, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm getting the full experience, like I was sitting there reading the program at the game. You know what I'm saying?
I tell you what, that part of the book I'm proud of, and the other part of the book is all the way in the back where I gave you a blow-by-blow, a play-by-play from the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
and not just Matt Snell runs ahead for 3 yards. I gave you detail about which off tackle, around the end, whatever, who made the tackle, who made the blocks for him, and that sort of thing. Because I wanted everybody to get the credit that they deserved. One more thing about Curly Johnson, Weeb's given name was Wilbur. Nobody called him Wilbur, with one exception. And it was Curly. And when Curly Jr., who now is about as old as me, met him the first time outside the locker room, he was introduced by his mother to Weeb, and the little boy, he was about 4 at the time, put his hand out and said, "Hi, Wilbur, how are you?" And nobody called Weeb Wilbur.
That's cute.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, Bob, you definitely need to come to that Cowboys game if you can. I know there's going to be some good food if you're going to be in the area. I know I've heard you say in the past you've got some family in New York. At the least, you could come eat with us at the Clover at the Clover League
the night
Saturday
before,
night.
right? Saturday,
Yeah.
October 4th. That's correct.
Well, I won't probably be there for that. There's some other reasons, but I at some point I'm going to have to man up and be up close and personal with you guys, and it would be my pleasure, and hopefully it would be your pleasure too.
Oh yeah. I'd love to meet you, Bob, and I'm looking forward to meeting BG here in 37 days, 36 days.
That's right. My dad has the counter. He's got like a tracker somewhere, and he's been telling me 36 days, 12 hours, and 4 minutes and 2 seconds. And I'm like, wow, okay, Pop. All right, he's keeping
And
track of
Bradshaw,
that
you gave the cookbook.
Yes,
part
he
of the giveaway.
donated it. It's right here.
Yeah. So kudos to you.
Hey, and I did. I'm glad you brought that up, Bob, because that was the whole reason I called in was about that.
Oh,
cookbook.
okay.
So
see, sometimes we call in, right? We forget the reason we called in. So there you go.
Exactly.
Yep, go ahead, Bradshaw.
Well, I know you're doing the reveal Monday, right? We're doing the
correct,
on
September 1st. Yep.
Okay. I don't know if I'll be I've got some people staying with me that day.
Oh,
so
nice.
Just holler at me.
Yep.
With whoever wins, and we'll get all that arranged. But I didn't want that day of the show and it get revealed, and you're like, all right, Bradshaw, and it's like crickets. Like, oh, is Bradshaw backing out on the book or something? So
okay,
just
that's good to know.
Holler at me on Discord. Yeah, just holler at me on Discord.
Bradshaw, what do you think of me being forced to wear a jersey that I don't really appreciate?
Oh, you got to do it, Bob. You got to. You just got to make those sacrifices. You got to give the people what they want, Bob.
That's true. Yeah. You have to feed the animals, Bob. You got to feed the animals.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You have a great weekend, Bradshaw. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Bradshaw, baby. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yes. Apparently there's a movement that'll be happening on the side on the Discord private app about rallying the funds to get Bob a jersey doesn't want. As a matter of fact, that Bradshaw was just on. We had a caller that called into this program during the Packers era. I'm not sure, or not Packers era. Well, I guess it basically is.
When we play the Packers?
No, not when we played the Packers. When Aaron Rodgers was traded here, we adopted a Packers fan who wanted to follow Aaron Rodgers on the journey. So he called into the show all the time. And so it's sort of weird, but I mean, he called to the show all the time. We welcomed him.
Yeah, it's like it's a story I tell people when I moved to Chicago. Oh, now you can become a Cubs fan now.
Yeah, so we welcomed this person in. We welcome this person in.
I'm not going to become a Cub fan. I'm become I'm still a Met fan.
Yeah, and his name was B-Mac, and but he was a Packers fan, but supporting the Jets while Aaron Rodgers was there. So several callers, including Bradshaw, rallied the funds to purchase him a brand spanking new Jets hat.
Wow.
And they rallied it, and then they worked it through me, and then I was able to send it to B-Mac, and he wore the hat begrudgingly for a little while, and all kinds of things happened.
He take it off after he tore his Achilles?
He did not. He did not. But he did all kinds of weird things. But anywho, he's gone now. So I think the Boy Green Coffee Club is ready to get hurt again and to do something else. So, Bob, you're their next target. We'll see what happens there, and we'll see what's next. By the way, we've got a super chat coming in.
Wow.
Shout out to Devin, a.k.a. DNY for Life. He's been a member for over a year, 13 months, baby, to the Boy Green Coffee Club. Thanks, Devin. I can't wait to meet you and your family. By the way, speaking of meeting people, the Jets-Cowboys game, he says, hi, BG, Bob. Bob, hope to hear bet next week. I don't know if he's talking about some sort of a Jets-Steelers bet or a season bet or what. I guess we'll see what happens. But, yes, Bob will join us every Friday, and those will be previews. We'll allow Bob to make his prediction for the games if he would like, anything he'd like to share on a week-to-week basis about the opponent, because we'll either be mostly on the precipice, although we'll have one post-game show with you, Bob, because the Jets do play a Thursday night football game this year. I believe that's against the New England Patriots later in the season. So that one, we'll be recapping the game from the night before. But most of the time, it'll be a preview of the upcoming games. There should be a lot of really cool moments there. I'm looking forward to that. So thank you, DNY for Life. Appreciate you. Oh, look at this. Ant Jets 82 memberships are starting to rein in, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Video packet. Here.
Kevin James. I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
There you go, Ant Jets 82. You are now in for our raffle. That is a 5-pack combination. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. I'll update on the scrolling ticker here in the very near future. But let's read those 5 new members to the Boy Green Coffee Club. Thanks for your support here on the show. We've got Ron G here on the show, Nitty Whack, Brian Kaloy, Mark Ferraro, Dicker the Kicker. You guys are all now members to the Boy Green Coffee Club. Dicker the Kicker, Mark Ferraro, Brian Kaloli, Nitty Whack, and Ron G. Want to make sure I got everybody there. So thank you, Ant Jets 82, for your contributions. 5 raffle tickets for our contest, baby. Thank you, sir, and welcome to the party. There you go, baby. That's what I'm talking about. 5 raffle tickets. Let's go back to the phone lines. Man with the Jet tattoo, one of your favorites, Bob.
Hey, Bob. How you doing?
Good morning, Carl. How are you?
You see, I put my name there just for you.
Hey, I'm not that old. I can remember your name from week to week.
You know, I gave you credit because I didn't read that at first. I just was looking at man with the Jets tattoo in the eyes, and I looked up, but I didn't even see it on the headline. Then when you said Carl, I'm like, wow, Bob, we don't remember that. And then he had it written. Would you have remembered it, Bob? Would you have remembered it?
Yes, I have to admit I've been walking around the house all week going, Carl.
Okay, nice. I can appreciate that level of honesty.
A chant.
Yeah,
why are you chanting Carl?
I was thinking of shortening my Jet tattoo name down to Carl.
No,
anyway,
no. You should stay with Man with the Jets tattoo.
Well, isn't that great though? Like, hey, Man with the Jets tattoo. What's your name? Carl? Should I change it to Carl? Absolutely not. Man with the Jet tattoo. Stay with what you got. There you
go. We got it.
Yeah, I guess so.
Anyway, what I was going to say was the new tight end that we just picked up.
Yes.
I watched some highlights on YouTube of this kid. Mm-hmm. If we can get that out of him, what he did in his rookie season, I'm going to tell you, this kid may be the best tight end we've ever had.
Wow.
He looks good. And I know highlights are highlights, but man, this kid can catch anything. Well, take a look at it later if you get a chance.
I will. Wow, to have that kind of takeaway off of some highlights, perhaps the best we've ever had. Wow,
I was very excited when I watched his highlights. Anyway, and I'm glad they brought Smith up to the roster.
Yes, very nice. Yeah, Jelani Woods. Yeah,
and I don't think we're going out and getting a wide receiver too, and I don't think we need one.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, tell Bob off. Come on, Man with the Jet tattoo. Bob's like, we need a wide receiver. You're like, no, we don't. Come on, tell him why.
Well,
why?
that's my because I think we got enough wide receivers on a team.
No, Bob.
I think
so you like volume, you don't like quality.
Well, that's not the point. The point is what Nick Farrier said. I don't think there's enough to go around, even if we did bring in a number 2.
Okay.
The only reason you would bring in a number 2 is in case Garrett Wilson went down.
Correct.
I'm just hoping he doesn't. But and talking about jerseys, the last jersey I bought, was a Mo Lewis.
God! Wow.
And I still wear it.
Okay.
It's the numbers are kind of coming off and things like that. And
I feel bad for Mo because Mo just came back up because speaking of that book I just wrote, I believe Mo Lewis has a spot in the book about the whole Brady thing. And that poor bastard, what a wonderful player in Jets history. And because of the Drew Bledsoe hit, he gets chastised for that because of that.
That's the only thing I hold against him.
Yeah.
Is he put Brady on the map,
Thanks, Mo.
Yeah, thanks, Mo.
Well, 50 years from now, people will remember that he's the guy that put Brady on the field.
100%.
I don't know.
Everyone's going to remember that forever.
Yes. It's like who threw the home run ball to Bobby Thompson? Somebody. And
not only did he put Tom Brady in the game, he almost killed Drew Bledsoe for God's sake. He had to be rushed to the hospital because of internal bleeding. People don't realize how serious that was for Bledsoe. Go back, people. He was in the hospital for a hot second.
I think his spleen fell out.
Yeah. I mean, and they had to rush to get it. It was an emergency situation. I'm not kidding, people. Really, look that story up if you don't remember it back from the time. But Drew Bledsoe was serious.
I can remember the hit. I mean, that thing's something that never left my mind. That hit was classic to me, anyway.
No.
Well, then you probably remember the hit on Gifford too in the 50s that left him on the ground. They didn't know if he was alive or not.
I'm sorry, Bob. I was a little in the 50s. I was born in 54.
No, but you probably have seen it and
oh
heard
yeah,
it.
I've seen it.
Yeah,
I've seen it.
I wasn't paying attention either, but
yeah,
it was like the hit that was felt around the world.
Yep. Hey, I don't know if you're interested, but I can send you I have a brand new Brett Favre jersey.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's what I'm
Does
talking about.
Does anybody want a Brett Favre jersey?
I do have some multiple Brett Favre jerseys. By the way, here's that Drew Bledsoe Mo Lewis hit. Let's get this in. Oh,
my! This is more critical than the first down.
Like a sack of potatoes. Jeez, Lou. Oh my God, that is. Oh God. Woo wee. Mo Lewis came that day.
But I wonder what Mo Lewis is doing these days.
That's a good question. I didn't read the interview he did because he has some excerpt in that book that I just had in front of my hand. So that's a good question. I don't know. The Jets do a really good job. I can't remember the reporter or contributor that works for the Jets. He does these articles. Where are they now? Like, what have they been doing? What's up with their lives? I've seen
those. Where are they now? Yeah.
Yeah. I have not. I don't remember reading a recent one on Mo Lewis. That'd be good to sort of catch up with the man.
Yeah. And I'll tell you something. I got a little disrespected on the Asman show.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I have what I think one of my favorite collectibles is a box of Crevette Crunch cereal.
Oh, that's
yeah,
cool.
You showed us that. Yeah.
I think I should, right?
Yeah.
So I called up Jake's show because Robbie Sabo is on once in a while, once a week.
Okay. Sure.
And he does a podcast with Wayne Crevette.
He does. Yep.
So I said, listen, I missed Robbie Sabo. I couldn't get a conversation with him.
Yeah.
He had left, and I want to find some way to get my box of cereal signed by Wayne Crevette.
That seems reasonable. Okay.
It's got a fake signature on it. One that.
Yeah. Right. They superimpose. No, I understand.
Yeah. So as soon as I said that, people started commenting, oh, this guy just wants free autographs. And, so Jake said to me, I said, hey, I don't need any free autographs. I got autographs all over the place. So let me see the autographs. So I start showing him the autographs. And anyway, I said, listen, you got to tell Robbie Sabo next time he's on, I want it any way I can get in touch with Wayne Crevette. I would send him the box. If he liked it enough, he could keep it.
Yeah.
But I don't know if anybody still has one of those.
I would imagine not. I don't think I would have offered that. I mean, if he wanted, because I know Wayne has done some of these events in the past where he goes to like an autograph show. If he wants $50 or whatever, fine, so be it. But I think that'd be a cool item to actually get autographed because I would not be so willy-nilly if I were you to give it away because I don't think there's a lot of them still left intact out there.
I don't think there is either, but I would go to his house if he wants me to come to his house and he could sign it.
Sure. Yeah, there you go. That's
I don't know. We'll have to see. I'll wait and see. If anybody has any ins with Wayne Crevette, tell him to give me a shout out.
There you go. I would love that.
So anyway, listen, guys, we got a week to go. I'm getting real excited.
Sure.
I'm real excited about this tight end.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to talk about Justin Fields, and I just want to wait for the game.
You're right about that. The talk needs to kind of stop right now. Let's first of all let them do it on the field.
That's right. We can talk all we want. We can make predictions. We just don't know.
And he's going to be their guy. They're going to give him every opportunity.
I agree. Long ass leash. They are not
short of an injury. He's going to play. He's going to play every down because.
Go ahead. I hate to say this, but I'm getting really nervous now. I'm very optimistic about this season.
All right.
But what would I think? What I think would kill me is if we went into this first game and played like we played against the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
I'd die right there on the couch.
Except that you have to look at who was playing on the field, and in the words of
I agree.
In the words of the famous Papa Boy Green, they were playing against guys who are now parking cars.
That's true.
Yeah.
But being a Jet fan for as long as I have, you just have to. You have to always have that little doubt in the back of your mind that what if this happens?
Mm-hmm.
Well, injuries obviously can play a role, but I have a lot of faith in their defense.
Oh, I do too, and their running game. I have a lot of faith in them, but you can't get that little bit of doubt. I can't anyway. I have to see it to believe it. Let's put it that way.
I agree.
See it to believe it.
Thank you, man, with the Jet Tattoo, a.k.a.
Good
Carl.
weekend to you.
Yeah, very much so. Hey, we've got another super chat coming in from our buddy DNY for Life, so I appreciate the shekels that have been being dropped in. Thank you very much. DNY for Life super chat. Let's get a wow from my daughter.
Wow.
Bob, you may not remember me. This is from DNY for Life, a.k.a. Devin. I'm Mr. 12-5 floor. That was his prediction. I love AG. I'm a Justin Fields truther. Enjoying the show. Thank you and all the coffee club members. JETS, Jets. So let's give him one of those shorts. Bob, do you remember Devin?
Yeah, absolutely. I remember he did not sleep well that night.
He did not.
He didn't like the bed. It was very uncomfortable for him.
All right.
And he told me that he was not going to buy my book.
Yeah,
because
you're so pessimistic.
I was too negative.
Yeah, I've heard that.
When I was done that day, my wife said, "Are you being too negative? Because that guy certainly thinks you are." And I went, "I'm just telling it like it is," as Cosell used to say.
Yeah.
I just don't, I wish I could be very positive. And again, I'm going to watch the games. I'm hopeful.
Okay.
I'm optimistic.
Sure.
But, this is professional football.
All right.
And I believe very strongly in coaching up, young players. And that's what I think that, Glenn will bring to the party more than anything else, because he's going to be serious and he's going to hold guys accountable. So I think we're going to see, some very, very capable, efforts. Again, I don't know what they're going to be able to do against the Buffalo.
Sure.
And I don't know how some of the other teams they have to play, how well they're going to do week in and week out. But I think as the season goes on, they will get better. And, hey, anything can happen. A tip pass here, a fumble there.
Bob, the last time I checked, it's an oblong-shaped football, and that bounces in all kinds of interesting ways during a football season. So, Bob,
yes, I do remember you. I do remember you.
All right.
And call in, Dove, because we've got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, apparently so. Let me ask you, Bob. So you say that you're more you keep it real. You call it how you see it. People are asking you if you would be more optimistic at any point in your life. Were you an optimistic guy?
Wow. I have to tell you, when it comes to the Jets,
sure,
I was always and I still found myself this way. I'm a perfectionist.
Oh,
okay. When they finished 11-3, the Super Bowl season during the regular season,
okay,
I was ticked off that they lost to Buffalo to Denver.
Yeah,
it should have been 13-1.
Sure.
When they would win 23-21, I would say should have won this game 33-21. I
not satisfied.
I was never satisfied, with the end result unless it was dominant. I wanted them to be dominant. Well, they've never been, except for the season they started 10-1. They've never really been a dominant team. So, and I'm the same way in all the sports teams that I watch. I know we don't like to talk about baseball here, but watching Nolan McLean a couple of nights ago,
sure,
extremely impressive,
quite
extremely, and three great, starts, 3-0. It's 3 starts, and I remember the guys whose records he broke. Like they talked last night, they mentioned Dick Rustek.
Wow.
Who won his first game as a shutout. And I think he was pitching well, had a shutout second game, and he started, and then they he got hurt or whatever. And Dick Rustick was never heard from again.
Wow.
And so tonight, and you've seen this because you're at all the Syracuse Met home games.
Yes, I am.
You know, Jonah Tong is starting tonight.
Yes,
I'm very
congratulations,
anxious.
Jonah.
But I woke up this morning and I said, wait a minute, the Marlins don't strike out. The
Yeah.
Marlins always get the bat on the ball. And this guy's a strikeout specialist. So what's going to happen?
Rubber is meeting road, Bob. Rubber is meeting
back
road.
to football. But anyway, yeah, I'm a perfectionist.
Okay, there you go.
I'm not fair that way to the teams I love.
Fair enough. By the way, DIY for Life, we have 32 raffle tickets to our contest that is reflected on our scrolling ticker. So thank you so much for the support. Appreciate it. Thank you, guys. That allows me to do so much more with the show. So appreciate it every time you guys dip in to share in on all the love. So there's a couple of comments here we can highlight here, Bob. First off, I had this one earlier, so I want to get back to Ricky New York Live, who threw this up. BG, let's be honest. We were able to run on the Ed Olivers of the world, Jeffrey Simmons. Kenny Clark does not scare me. However, Micah Parsons destroyed us when we played. So he believes, to that question from Badshaw earlier, that that's a net positive ultimately for the Jets. So 2 first-round picks obviously don't affect the Jets this year. And we only play the Cowboys basically once every 4 years outside of rare circumstances, which this would be a rare circumstance where they finished in the same place. And thus they played each other only 2 years later because we did play during the 2023 season. So, hey, baby, we'll see what happens. Again,
and
I think
Mike Parsons is even more dangerous when you have a young quarterback.
That's true, especially
when you have
one
a real veteran quarterback who can, you see these quarterbacks point over here and point over there.
Yeah.
And it's not just to gesticulate in some direction. It's to say, hey, he's over here now or he's over there now. You make sure you block him. So anyway.
Let's go to another comment. Troy Sturgis, who sent in a super chat earlier. Thank you, Troy. Read an article saying our offensive line is at 15th overall. Agree or disagree? Bob, we'll start with you.
I would think that's a fair characterization. We're still looking at a left tackle who was only in his second year and didn't really play the entire season last year.
Yep.
And a right tackle that has shown some vulnerability against the pass during the preseason. And the middle of the line is pretty strong and pretty reliable because you got veterans and you got Tippett, who's played really well his 2 years in the league. So I think beginning of the season at 1 to 15, yeah, and hopefully they get into the top 10 or even better as the season goes on.
Well articulated. I couldn't have said it any better myself, Bob. We're in terms of starting the season at 15th out of 32 teams. Basically, they're saying you're average. All right, that's fine. Because here's the thing: even if they called the Jets number one, last time I checked, you don't win an award for being a preseason number one in anything. So fine, they want to put us 15th and make the Jets prove themselves. Phenomenal, and hopefully at some point that they progress from this middle of the pack to being a top 10 unit, because I believe they do have that kind of upside. It's a nice combination. But yes, Olu Fashanu, or Olumuyiwa Fashanu, his full name. He is a guy that played a lot of different positions last year, only got left tackle at the end, then had the foot injury, which compromised the last couple of games of the season. So, he hasn't had a lot of run, but I'm excited for his future. And Armand Membu's been slapped around a little bit, which I'm not concerned with at all. That's what's going to happen offensive linemen, but let's see sort of how they progress throughout the season. Another comment here, this is from Yo Holmes. I may be in the minority, but I really like our chances week one. I really think we match up well against the Steelers. As do I. There's a lot of things that I think match up well with the Steelers. Now, Bob gave some stark analytics, some numbers that would say some of the things the Jets want to do and what the Steelers' best strengths are may be a head-on-head collision of two cars going 60 miles per hour against each other, and that might be ugly in a couple of those results, but there's a lot that I like. Aaron Rodgers is rusty as hell. He didn't play in the preseason. He showed up late to these programs anyway. There's going to be a lot of those chemistry issues that we saw with even the Jets last year, where he wasn't always on the same page with his receivers, which I think is good news for the Jets. So, yeah, if I'm a Jets fan, I'm feeling pretty good going to that week one game. Some people have written it off like that's an automatic loss. I don't see that at all, Bob. Don't see that.
No, I don't either. And I said last week, and I still really believe this, it comes down to our defense, not theirs. It's our defense giving Fields chances because he is sporadic in his abilities. And he may look terrible on one series, and the next series you may come out there and just take him downfield. So that's what I'm expecting. Like you're dealing with a 50-50 situation when you have to rely on Fields. Now, late in the game, Fields has never shown an ability when they're down 10 points or 14 points in the fourth quarter to bring a team down. But even then, I think they're going to try to run the ball, because if you can run the ball effectively, you can still go down the field fairly quickly. Not as obviously as quickly as the pass, but run 3 or 4 times straight down, straight up the gut and get, 25, 30 yards. They stack the defense, and that's when you can hit Garrett or whoever, wide receiver number 2, or the tight end, and you can get a big gainer. And that's the way they're going to have to play. I have a lot of confidence in Allen. I really think Allen is going to be, Jet fans know he can be not a game breaker, but a real difference maker. And I don't think the rest of the league is looking at him that way quite yet. But let's see after a game or 3 or 4 or 5, when he's second or third in the league in attempts and averaging 5 yards a carry or something like that. So we'll see.
We have 600 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe. At the start of business, we're about 70 people away from 8,000 subscribers. So people, jump on the train. If you're not there already, baby, we'd appreciate it. I do have a super chat coming in. Let's squeeze this one in real quick before we get back to the phone lines here. Johnny Boy has a very pressing question.
Wow.
Member for 13 months. Are we going to Wayne's house as well? You noticed there that our boy, Carl, a.k.a. Man with the Jet Tattoo, said, hey, if anyone's got a connection to Wayne Corbett, if you can hook him up, that'd be great. He says he even volunteered. He'd be willing to go to his house to get this autograph. Should we be going too, Bob?
I think it might be a little bit overwhelming for Wayne.
What, opens his door to a bunch of Jet fans?
Your best chance, with Wayne would obviously be one-on-one, and warned ahead of time that he's
right, not bum rushing him at his house.
Carl is coming. ETA 10:55. This morning.
That's true. Oh my God, that's funny. All right, so you guys have been having a good time. Let's go to the phone lines here. Your mama's favorite caller, Indy Jets, joins us. What's up,
I was
Indy?
just going to say, where is Indy?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I haven't gone
Indy,
anywhere.
I saw last week because my wife showed me. You said something derogatory, like, "Why? What is this guy talking about?"
Oh, what was it this time? Oh boy,
I don't know.
That doesn't really narrow it down, because Indy could have been saying that about
down.
anybody.
No, it doesn't. I could probably go back and find it, but it's not that important.
Yeah. I want to know your guys' opinion. The Jets released the 6 captains, right?
Yes. I think I have that image. So 1 second, I'll get that up on the screen.
Yeah, you got Fields and Garrett. I agree with, and Sherwood.
Yeah.
Okay. But I'm not real high on the other 3 as being captains. What do you think?
Yeah. Let me ask you first, Bob, did you see who the new captains are for the
No,
New York
I was too busy on some other stuff yesterday. I know they named the captains, and I think Garrett is one of them and Fields is one of them.
Yeah, here it is. I'll pop up this image here on the screen so you guys can all see it if you did not see it. The Jets elected 6 captains. Last year, they only had 3 captains, one for each of the respective positions, which was offense, defense, special teams. But now they have 6 captains this year. They've doubled their captainship. And here it is. Sorry for the delay, folks. We'll pop this up right here. And, we got some representation from all over the place. So real quick, Indy, you said, who do you have a problem with, or who do you like out of this group, did you say?
Well, AVT is on there. And
yeah, there you go. Here it is, everybody.
Yeah. So you got, of course, Quinnen is on there.
Yeah, so let's reveal it for the people because we have audio only listeners. So I'll read it out to everyone. Again, the Jets elected or nominated 6 captains. This was voted on by the team. Here they are: quarterback Justin Fields, wide receiver Garrett Wilson, linebacker Jamie Sherwood, defensive tackle Quinnen Williams, offensive lineman Elijah Tucker, and special teamer and also linebacker Marcelino McCrary Ball. That was the 6 that were voted on by the team. Go ahead, Indy.
I think AVT and Ball are the ones that I have the biggest question. The other 4 are, are probably non-issues, but I'm just not a big fan of AVT. You got to be on the field, and He's the injuries that he's had, and he's missed. Now he's going to be up for a contract, and I don't know. Maybe again, the coaching staff knows more than we do. We've agreed. We've talked about that. So if AVT is that kind of leader, I get it. But then that
again, it
tells
was
you right
the
there.
people. It was his teammates who voted on him. So the coaches did not pick this. The teammates, apparently, according to the Jets website, they voted on this privately behind the scenes.
Yeah, so I guess if AVT is now been voted by the players, that probably is the indication that between Simpson and AVT, who's going to get the contract?
Maybe, yeah. I mean, they don't.
You know what I'm saying?
It's not player voted for who gets contracts, but maybe. I mean, he's
No, but I'm
younger
saying
and higher
if
upside.
he makes that much of an impact too on the team to
Oh, I
be
see what
voted
you're
as
saying.
the captain,
Yeah, maybe, sure.
then and it's nothing against Simpson, but if AVT, I really didn't expect AVT to be on there, but
I didn't either.
Since he's on there, again, they know more. The players and the coaches and the people than inside the building know more than we do as far as the daily. That probably is more of an indicator that AVT, out of the two guards, if we're going to sign one, AVT is the captain here. He's probably going to be the one to get signed. I don't know. That's just my.
Well, I don't want to be a wise guy about it, but AVT's always on the field except when they have to play in Denver.
Right.
There's that.
That's true. Thankfully,
and they play Denver, but it's at home this year.
No, it's in London, isn't it? Isn't that the week 6 London game?
It's overseas.
Yeah, let me see. Let me confirm that. Yes, the week 6 game is the London game. So thank God to the Overlords. Although it would have been a Jets home game anyway, so it wouldn't have been in Denver no matter what the circumstance was. But thank God overseas. Hopefully that's a safer place for ABT and his family to go.
And I don't really know, but all the soccer fields over there, are they pure grass or are they do what the NFL does and they're using the artificial turf?
That's a good question. I believe they're grass fields, but let me see. I can't remember which ones the Jets are playing at for this London game. They got a couple of different London locations over there, so I'm not sure if it's Hotspur or where it is.
Yeah, I think they are playing at Hotspur. Yeah.
Okay, there you go. It's all grass. You heard there from Indy. So
okay. Yeah. So I don't know if that helps or hurts. In the old days, grass fields terrible. People tearing up their knees and all that sort of stuff.
Now turf terrible. Oh, everyone's tearing up their knees. I don't know.
Let's all go to artificial turf because that'll solve the problem. No, it didn't solve the problem.
But are you a little disappointed that Sauce didn't make a captain?
Yes, I would have thought that him and his leadership ability there, and the fact that when you get past the line, the defensive line, he is the leader back there. Now I don't know who is actually calling the signals for the defense. Is it Sherwood?
Jamian for sure, 100%.
Yeah, Sherwood is,
and that's why he's a captain
for sure. Yeah.
I think they gave it to Garrett because they wanted to kind of keep him on an even keel because I think it's going to be a tough season in spurts for him this year, not getting the ball as often as he'd like.
And he's more demonstrative, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but he's just passionate, winning. He's very Sauce seems more reserved from everything I see. Again, I'm not inside the building, but body language wise, in game stuff, there doesn't seem to be a lot of activity with Sauce. Yeah. Whether good or bad, you guys take that for what you will. But Garrett is very demonstrative, and I think that resonates with the teammates. So I think it's another reason that he captured their interest for these.
And if you believe what you've read about how the team has really coalesced around Fields, then you see why Fields is.
Oh yeah, Fields is obvious.
It's an extra vote of confidence in him
for sure.
So what makes you think that Garrett's not going to get his targets? You said he's going to have a lesser.
Because I think Fields is going to have trouble getting him the ball.
Well, did he have trouble getting DJ Moore the ball?
Oh well.
Let me just pull up.
It's a darn good question.
Let's go by what he's done.
Okay.
And did he have trouble getting DJ Moore the ball on a much worse team than what he's got now?
Justin Fields was run out of Chicago. They'd seen enough.
You live in Chicago, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And here are the numbers real quick.
There's a lot of people that really like Fields there.
Okay, so Justin Fields gets a lot of crap, but let's go to DJ Moore here. during the 2023 season, his quarterback for the majority of that season was Justin Fields. He set a new career high in receiving yards, in touchdowns. I mean, look at all the numbers that are on your screen of like new career highs, and 96 catches at the time was a new career high. He was able to top that in the next season with a different quarterback. But so catches, yards, and touchdowns all at the time. Yards and touchdowns, those records still hold, but catches no longer does. That was the season.
And you want to hear,
and
I just happen to have this because
okay.
Okay, Bears accuracy. The last year he was with the Bears.
Yeah.
On target percentage, 71.5%, sixth worst in the league. And it said here this was not a number influenced by wide receivers, but if the pressure is high, and he didn't have the offensive line there that he should have had. Bad throw percentage, 19%, sixth worst. They said this is near the bottom in the NFL. But like the previous stat, it is influenced by pressure. So,
that didn't affect him getting the ball to DJ Moore, though.
Well,
that's where I'm getting at.
But the net effect. But hold on, I'm not disagreeing with you, Indy. But the net effect was he an effective quarterback? You can't just look at was he able to get the ball to DJ Moore? Was he able to do this or do that? You have to look at his net impact. At the quarterback position. And again,
Steve Young was a terrible quarterback in Tampa. Steve Young was not an effective quarterback in Tampa because the rest of the team around him was terrible.
Yeah,
you can't. If you put Patrick Mahomes on that Chicago team, he's not Patrick Mahomes.
You're right. You're right.
If
he had been drafted by the Bears, they would have ruined him. He would never have become the player he is.
But to Indy's point,
the team wins
right. To Indy's point, though, he's not saying that Justin Fields should have went to the Hall of Fame based on what he did in Chicago Bears in 2023. But what he's saying is, despite whatever flaws people perceive Justin Fields to have, and you pointed out some of those numbers, DJ Moore had a superstar wide receiver one season where nearly 100 receptions, 1,300 yards, and 8 touchdowns. And if he was able to do it then, why can't he get Garrett Wilson his stuff now? And I don't think Indy's saying anything about whatever else you want to say about Justin Fields in this upcoming season, but specifically on getting Garrett Wilson the ball, which seemed to be his point of contention with you, Bob, is that he says, look, he got it to DJ Moore. He could get him his numbers again. Who knows what that's going to mean for wins and everything else, but just specifically to that point, that's what Garrett can do.
If Fields can do that on a bad team, and one thing about Fields, when he was at Ohio State, and he showed it there, when he showed it in Chicago, when he likes a receiver, whether it's when it was Ohio State, it was actually Olave that he liked. He threw more to than he did Garrett, and then in Chicago, he trusts him. He's going to throw it up there and say, okay, I believe you're going to exceed the 50-50 ball. So, and give them more of a chance. And with Garrett, I think Garrett's a better receiver than DJ Moore. I don't know.
I do too, but I keep repeating things, and I feel bad about that. But I remember his first game with DJ Moore was preseason, and it was on a Saturday, and so I didn't see it live, but I watched it Saturday night. And I'd seen the statistics that Fields had gone 2 for 3 in the first quarter. Then he took him out of the game for 132 yards. And I watched the first quarter, and his first pass to DJ Moore was a swing pass that DJ Moore took 97 yards for a touchdown. So, that wasn't exactly hitting a guy when he was wide open, but Nick Ferrier reported,
hey, real quick, guys, we have breaking news for the New York Jets, baby.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go to it. Here we go. Here is your new addition to the practice squad. Say hello to cornerback Corey Black, baby. He has joined us on the practice squad. There you see him on your screen. Here are some details on the Jets' newest addition. This just broke a few minutes ago. Here you go, Corey Black. He's 6 foot flat, 192 pounds. He was a 7th round pick of the New York Giants in the 2024 NFL draft. He played 62 games at Oklahoma State, recording 100 tackles, 25 pass deflections, 4 interceptions, 3 fumble recoveries, and 2 forced fumbles. And as a super senior, he had 12 PDs and 3 picks in the preseason play Black, a Kansas City native, had a couple of defensive stops and special team spots. He did make the initial Giants 53-man roster, but was waived after additional moves were made. So there you go, a new addition for the Jets practice squad.
Indy, who do you think they're going to cut from the 53?
Get your prediction for that. So Brandon Smith's on the roster right now, Indy, but they have 54 players on that roster right now. Obviously, that can't hold. So someone has to get booted off the island. Who's getting voted off the island for Brandon Smith?
Who's that sixth interior offensive lineman? I don't have the list in front of me.
Oh, like on the Jets 53.
It would be technically it would be Pohl. He'd be the last guy they put on.
Yeah, I believe he plays tackle. So if you're talking about interior, let me pull that up.
It may not even. Yeah, I would say it's that one, probably that one offensive line.
Okay, so let me
I don't have it in front of me. I can't remember what his name is.
Xavier Newman.
It could be Newman. I don't. Yeah, I don't. But I don't see. I don't see that we're going to carry that. What do we got? 10 offensive linemen.
We do have 10 right now, I believe. Yeah, I'll double check.
And I think they've set themselves up because with Tippmann being able to move over, with Myers coming in as center, they don't need that many. They don't need to carry that many offensive line. So I think it's going to be an offensive lineman.
They do have 10. They do have 10 as it currently stands right now at this moment in time. They have 10 on the 53-man roster. Yep.
Indy, including injuries, what are your expectations of the new tight end they got from Indianapolis?
And before you answer that, Indy, real quick, just for people asking about Marquise Hayes, he's on the practice squad, so he can't be cut.
Right.
Well, I mean, I guess he could be cut, but that's not a roster thing. Just to answer that real quick.
I don't think he makes that much of an impact. I don't think he'll make a noticeable impact. He's not going to be a game changer. He's not. I don't see him going to. Being in a hurry up offense in the last 2 minutes of the game, he's not going to be on the field. So
because of how new he is to the team.
Well, no, I think that if you're as the tight end, you're gonna have Taylor on there, and you're probably gonna have the fullback in there, and if you need another pass catching tight end, you're gonna put probably Smart out there first. And so I don't see him making a huge impact. Maybe he blocks better than Ruckert. I don't know. I don't.
They say his blocking is not one of his strengths. He's adequate. So
yeah, but it's still even adequate. It's probably still better than Ruckert.
Listen, of the three waiver pickups they made, I think the one that's going to make the greatest impression is the linebacker who will play special teams, because they lost some very key special teams guys.
Yeah, that's about and I agree with there. We agree, Bob. I think that's about the one that could make a noticeable impact. But as far as the tight end and they got an offensive lineman too, right?
Yeah, Pohl.
Yeah, it's Essa Pohl. Yes.
Yeah, but they said he's a huge guy, but he's a development guy.
Yeah, 6'7", I believe. Yeah.
So he's not a.
The key thing
to me, make an impact.
Yeah, the key thing to me that I read was, again, even against guys who are now parking cars, nobody got a sack and nobody even got a pressure against him in preseason. So there's something to work with there.
Some upside, yeah, sure.
Sure, yeah, but no, I think you're going to see the fullback in there as that second tight end. We're going to be more of a running team. The game plan is, and so he's going to fit more into that role of a swing tight end fullback, where if they need to, they're going to need that extra blocking especially on the right side. On the right side of the line, they're gonna need a little bit of that extra. Philly said it earlier, chipping. They're gonna need that probably more so than anything that other tight end could bring.
So, what's your level of concern if Pittsburgh or anybody else stacks the box and dares Fields to throw?
I hope they do. I mean, BG said it earlier. If they double Garrett and bring 9 to the box, well, then you can't do that with a good tight end and we've got 2 good running backs that can catch the ball out of the field, out of the backfield. And that one play last year when Breece Hall came to Rodgers and said if they run their linebacker out, when Hall went out, split out wide,
Week 2 Tennessee Titans game. Yes.
And he said if just throw me the ball. If they run the linebacker out there, just throw me the ball. And that's some backyard play. They should have continued to do stuff like that. And I think that was the last time they ever did anything like that. And with Pittsburgh, how you beat an aggressive offense is quick screens, tight ends, and a lot of movement. And yeah, they bring 9 to the box. Well, you swing Breece outside, who's going to catch him?
Good luck.
I mean, as good as TJ Watt is, he's not going to catch him if Breece is already on the move 8-10 yards away from him. And he's, so my point, they'll figure out how to slow that defense, how to slow that pressure down with some screens and some tight end movement and some running backs passing out to the running backs. And that'll slow that pass. And if they double Garrett, and I'm still really big on Arian Smith. He's worked on his one negative that everybody talked about was his drops. Nobody talked about all the good things that the kid could do. And what a burner does is hold your safeties deep. Dylan Terreman and I were talking about this. A good burner on the outside with a good wide receiver like Garrett on the other side. Even if you're not throwing the ball to Smith, you're holding them safety. You're holding that safety deep, because if you put Arian Smith one-on-one and pull a safety in, he's gone. And Fields will just continue to throw it until they stop it. And if his drop issues are fixed, we know Fields has got a really nice deep ball. So it's just a matter of throwing it up there. So they're not going to be able to stack the box if they put somebody, Arian out here on the opposite side of Garrett.
Right, they're going to have to make business decisions, 100%.
Right, and so now you're holding a safety deep, and if you're doubling Garrett, so now you've got 4 defensive players covering 2 offensive players. That's what you want as a coach, as an offensive coach, and with the 2 running backs that we have, I think that's how you slow that Pittsburgh, even Buffalo. I think Buffalo is going to have one of the best defensive lines in the league.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're going to have to, you're going to go from Pittsburgh and right straight into Buffalo. And so the same game plan better work. If it doesn't work in Pittsburgh, it's not working in Buffalo either.
That's probably true.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so that's all I was going to ask you about those ugly ass uniforms that the Jets released, but Philly brought it up. Yeah. Those are terrible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are just absolutely terrible.
So I guess it'd be great to see Bob potentially wearing that jersey, which, by the way, real quick, I know we have Philly Noodles here. You had something to say. I don't know if it's jersey related, but Philly Noodles, go ahead, pal. Yeah,
welcome
sorry.
back, Philly.
What's up, bro?
Yeah, welcome back.
What's going on, my man?
Not much. Yeah, I wanted to first off, those jerseys are all right, man. Come on, Indy.
Yeah, I thought they look really good personally, but different.
Indy, I hope when we meet up at the bar at one point, bro,
I'll be happy to model it and see for yourself.
Okay.
Well, I was going to, we were talking about this, on Discord and all that about the draft. We've got our draft on Sunday, and we're trying to figure out how to get all 12 people or whatever on here. And I said, I'll just drive up to Charlotte and we'll just use one live stream.
Oh, there you go.
There
you go.
Might make sense, bro. Honestly. All right, so real quick. So to everyone's point, like with the second receiver thing, Bob, let's just put it to rest for everybody who thinks we don't need it. Let's just review all the good teams in the NFL with 2 receivers that are pretty good. Okay, I don't know. Let's go Washington. They just traded for one. Debo and McLaurin. I don't know. Let's go Cowboys. Receiving core. Pickens and Lamb. I don't know. Let's just say the Eagles. They just won the Super Bowl. I don't know. They got some guy named Brown and some guy named Smith. Oh, I don't know. Let's just keep going down the list. That's this large.
Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle,
No,
T. Higgins, Jamar
Bob
Chase.
doesn't know what he's talking about. Bob don't know what he's talking about. I rest
How
my
about
case.
how about Detroit?
And what are we talking?
Yeah,
what are we talking about?
Jameson Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown.
What are we talking about at Pittsburgh?
Well, yeah, I feel bad for them. So, well, they got Aaron Rodgers. So with one Achilles, he'll get it done. That's all right. They'll figure it out. But yeah, man. Yeah, I listen. Everybody's got to stop. You need a second receiver. They know it. They're not dumb. The Jets are playing their hand with what they had, and they'll figure it out. If it's not this season, listen, we're not predicting a Super Bowl, but everybody's undefeated starting week 1. So you never know.
So we're in first place, is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. I rest my case.
No, well, we're not in last.
No, exactly. We're not last, and we're all in Super Bowl contention.
Yep.
Yeah, Philly, tell me you don't like Arian Smith?
No, I do. My problem is just imagine, like you were mentioning. I hope he takes the top off, but that first drop, they're coming for him, bro. They're coming. We'll see what he's made out of off that first drop, because then the defense don't need to worry about him if he drops the ball. So as long as he hits that first catch, that first bomb that gets thrown to him, then that sideline will probably lose their mind. They're ever living gosh damn garden bananas, is like BG was saying. They will. But if he drops that ball, Garrett better use that captaincy, and just be like, listen, come over here, bro. I got you.
I don't worry about him dropping the ball. I worry about Fields getting him the ball, even though that's his strength. He's throwing.
Yeah. I think he'll throw a cannonball out there. I don't know if the kid's gonna bring it in. And on top of it, that one-on-one matchup, if he does get, like, let's say if the ball does come a little bit awry out of his hand, can he come out and get a sideline catch? Can he come across the middle and dive behind himself and grab it? Wilson could do that. The top wide receivers can. Their agility is top 10. I don't know if his agility is there. His speed is there. We know his speed's there. Agility and speed are two different things.
Indeed, you have a lot of confidence in Allen the way I do.
To be a number 2, yes.
Well, to be the difference maker on 3rd and short in particular.
I mean, he's a big bruising running back. So, if you're gonna hand the ball off and you need that solid 1 yard, Allen's probably the choice.
Mm-hmm. He has to be the choice.
Yeah, I mean, over Brees. I mean, that's the guy you want. I mean, he's what, 240?
Yeah.
He says he's pushing 250. So
yeah, he got bigger, like real big.
And I don't know if they've actually come out with the new weights, BG of
let me double check if they have.
But he was 230. Allen was 235 last year
when he was drafted. Correct. Yep.
Yeah. So if he's pushing 250 now, and when Brees was on here, I don't know.
They have not updated their roster sheets. It still says 235. That's not accurate.
He looks buff too. I mean, Brees looks like he put on a little bit, and if Allen put on another 10 plus pounds and not slowed down any, that's a bruising combination.
Sure.
Absolutely. You're going to give that 250-pound running back, go get me 1 yard. Allen's the one. Could he be a workhorse? I don't think he's capable of being an every down back.
Okay.
Braylon?
And who you gonna and who's he gonna run behind most of the time? He or a Brees?
What do you mean as far as running behind?
What part of the line is he going to come off guard or off one of the tackles? And if it
you're going to see Allen in between the tackles. That's his, but I don't think you're going to see Brees. I think you're going to see Brees running off tackle, and you're going to see Allen running between the tackles.
Right.
And Tippmann's going
to pick his hole.
Tippmann's going to earn his top 10 play last year. People forget Tippmann was that guy. He's going to do it again this season. I'm telling you.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, guys, get back to work.
Okay, beautiful.
All right, Philly. Hey, I'll catch up with you, and maybe if we're gonna get we can get together Sunday and do this draft.
Ooh, okay.
Hit me up. Yeah, I started up a team's group. I don't know. If
we'll have to test that out. Yes.
And Indy, if you're up to it, some gentlemen's bets next week.
Ooh, okay.
You know what? Yeah, I was going to make the bet of whatever the bet is, Bob. If I lose, I'll just buy the book, so that way,
Okay, there you go. That's a beautiful.
And
way
if
to
you
put it.
win, we'll let you be on every Friday that I'm on.
Wow.
Ah, well, that's an
Wow.
honor in
Okay.
itself, right there.
Okay. Wow, beautiful. Well, Indy, thank you
Yeah.
so much,
It
pal.
was good to see you guys. Have a great holiday. If it, Bob, you've celebrated more of these holidays than BG and I have. But
Got my flag ready for Monday morning.
Absolutely. Let's also not forget why we celebrate this holiday.
Of course.
Correct.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, guys. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you later.
There he is, Indy Jets, joining us here on the show. That is important to remember. We have over 600 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe. We have a super chat coming in, Bob, and I don't think you're going to like this at all. But nonetheless, if people pay money, I will put most things on the screen as long as they're not incredibly offensive.
Wow.
I believe in freedom. Send in a $5 super chat. Thank you, Paul. Please bring people who are more positive. It's annoying to hear all this negativity. Why, as Jet fans, we have to be so effing negative? Let's bleep and go Jets. Bob, your response.
Calling it like it is. Hey, really, I mean, if certain weaknesses or vulnerabilities are pretty apparent to everybody, and it's not just me. I mean, I listen to the reporters and the guys who are watching practices and seeing what's going on and hearing, what's going on in the locker room and that sort of thing. Look, everybody is not an all-pro, and everybody is not healthy every week. And every team has its strengths and its weaknesses. The best teams, are the ones that can get through the season with the least amount of injuries and still be very effective at what they do best. This is not a complete rebuild, but it's a very heavy rebuild with a new concept on offense, and there'll be a new concept or an adjusted concept on defense. I don't consider it negative. I consider it trying to be, honest about the thing. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope that they go 17-0. But reality is what reality is. And Glenn wasn't walked in here and hired to take over a team that's going to dominate. He's got to build. And they asked him and they asked Muji, and they both said the same thing. We're very comfortable with the new people we've brought in and what their capabilities are. So I hope you'll, not take what I say as being negative, but trying to be honest about the whole thing. Justin Fields is not the greatest quarterback in the league or even in the top 10 of the league.
You don't think he's the greatest quarterback in the league, Bob?
He might be at the end of the year, but
okay, great.
Show me. I got a new phrase for you. I'm not from Missouri, but show me anyway.
I like that. We're going to see if we can pick up some steam with that. So,
Yeah.
Bob, so what you're saying is these people, despite your wife showing you some of these comments and things, that these comments like this are not going to change the way you are. You're going to continue to be who you are, Bob.
Hasn't happened in 73 years. I doubt it's going to happen now. But I believe in freedom. Call in. Call me out. Tell me how I'm wrong about some of these guys that I'm, not that thrilled about. Look, they made 3 waiver pickups. Do you think that these 3 guys that they brought in are going to be game changers? I mean, that's not realistic. You've picked up guys that weren't good enough to make other teams. I mean, that's really what it's about. And one of them, I really, except for the linebacker from Kansas City, who I think will help on special teams.
Yep.
My greatest hope is that the tackle that they got develops into something special. Because they said he really looked outstanding. And in fact, at Washington State, where he played,
yes,
he was considered one of the very best offensive tackles in the whole country. Yeah, he didn't get drafted. So there's something there that the pro scouts thought needed a lot of work on. Kansas City was very happy with how he played in preseason, and they've admitted they tried to sneak him through.
Yeah, they did, and they thought they got him, which was again a funny. I don't know if it's funny to Chiefs people, but it's funny to us. They thought they successfully, once a player in theory clears waivers, that they could get him back to the practice squad. So Esa Pohl was packing his bags because he thought he was going back to Kansas City, and all of a sudden they were like, "Actually, you've been claimed by the Jets." And then he had to change around, and media members were going, "What's going on here?" There was a lot of hoopla that happened there for Esa Pohl. So
he's going to look better in green than he would have in red.
100%. Screw the Chiefs, but I believe in freedom. You got yourself a raffle ticket. You're $1 away from another one. So thank you for your freedom and your super chat, Bob.
Call in next week and give me hell. Give me hell.
There you go. Folks, we have 600 people in the room. Make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe. I say that often here on this show. And I'll tell you this as we're wrapping up the program here, is that I see on YouTube that we have 97 likes right now, which is pretty cool. But we have well over 100 people on YouTube, so we need to get those likes up, baby. Make sure you hit the like button if you're watching on YouTube, whether live or after the fact. It helps get this show in front of fellow Jet fans. And we have 500 of you on Twitter. Hop on over to a new tab, youtube.com/boygreen25, and hit subscribe if you will. We do New York Jets content on this channel every single day. So that's youtube.com/.
And it's good content too.
I appreciate that, Bob. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. You even got me as a viewer during the week most of the time.
I know you were just citing things from the Nick Ferry conversation on Monday. So I know.
And guys like that, you got to pay attention to. There are other guys too that I see on Jake all the time, but there are guys that you can rely on to give you the scoop and to really be honest with you. And a guy like Nick is, he said, hey, I've seen this. I've seen this. I've seen this.
He's at the practices, of course.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's great. Well, Bob, I want to thank you so much for joining us again. When you join us next week, we will be talking about the Jets-Steelers game being 2.5 days away, and that's going to be incredible. So, Bob, regardless of what some people say about the optimism or pessimism that you bring, I just love that you bring it. That intangible quality that is Bob Lederer, baby, here on the program. So thank you, as always, for being so generous with your time.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity to appear. Even my wife says to me, you have a little extra perk in your step after you've been on with Boy Green. I said, it's nice to feel like you've got something to say that people respect and care to listen about. And I'm learning a lot from watching and hearing from guys like Philly and Indy and Carl and some of the other regulars. And I'd like to interact more with a lot of the other regulars who I see during the week.
So I'd like to give 2 thank yous. One to you, Bob, and apparently one to your wife for your engine being revved immediately after this. You're welcome. And thank you. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I will actually have an interview coming up in a little bit with Randy Lang, the senior contributor for the New York Jets. Randy's one of my favorites. He's been around the team forever, covering this team for a very long time. So we'll have some stuff out on that heading into your Labor Day weekend. And I'll be doing my live fantasy draft tonight and then hop on pop. You guys can hear all about the Micah Parsons stuff from the horse's mouth. That'll be coming up this weekend with a couple of shows. Bob, thanks, pal. Appreciate you.
And right back at you.
There we go. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you.